So, BIP of Bizarre Interest Productions, and in the spirit of seeing if I have the ability to record 2 videos at once without overfrying myself and being able to edit them post-work, we're going to talk about a post that someone made on Twitter about 2 weeks ago called The Average Villain Team in Comics, and that has led to people wondering, okay, what groups actually fit this, which led to someone in the Kamen Rider memes Reddit asking whether or not this fits. So I started thinking, okay, how many characters could actually fit this? And then my brain was fried because every time I would think there was one close, it was like, I'm not sure this actually makes sense. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at every season I possibly can to figure out what groups closely fit this role and try to match them in as best as I can, but I will take some liberties because in some of these cases, I don't think the dumb muscle is that stupid. The smart mouth is going to be a debatable one because that can sometimes either be the leader or just the evil person in a group of 4 or 5. Femme fatale, I might have to take some liberties on, and the weird thing might even include some of the leaders. So let's just have fun with this. Okay, couldn't think of anyone for Kuuga, Agito, or Ryuki. So for Dragon Knight, I guess if you count Xavier, Raph, Strike, and Drew as his 4 loyal people, or the ones that know about his plan the most. Xavier's a smart mouth, Strike's the femme fatale because he did try to seduce and influence Maya. Raph's the muscle since he's comatose, and Drew's the weird one since he eventually wants to turn on them. Or you could put Axe and Spare since, well, they're only in it for the money, and that's why you don't make deals with the devil. Although you could switch around Xavier and Strike as the thing, because Xavier being the femme fatale would actually add up with him trying to manipulate everyone as they're joining him, while Strike's a smart mouth because, well, he is kind of the most snarkiest villain next to Xavier, though Xavier has the better lines more consistently. Okay, Faiz, Lucky Clover. Okay, Sayako's the femme fatale. Jay's the brute, but I don't think he's dumb, and I'm a little bit uncomfortable calling a character like him dumb when he's just really, really hard to kill since he has multiple lives and he just wants to keep his pet safe. Itsuo's a smart mouth because, well, look at him. And Kitazaki's definitely the weird one in multiple ways. Jeez, that dude was a sociopath. Oh, you could even put Sawada in that role too. By the way, for a season I don't mention, if you have your own thoughts or ideas, please leave them in the comments, because again, I haven't seen every season, I haven't seen all that much of Showa. There's a few Heisei Era Phase 1 seasons that I haven't seen. I need to properly watch O's and Wizard properly, so yeah, give me all the thoughts you got while I go on with the rest of this. The Checkmate 4 count in Kiva, I think that one's a good one. Because Rook's a dumb muscle, even actually put 2. Queen would be the femme fatale either version. Bishop's a smart mouth. And King's definitely the weird one because either you got his replacement, his original self, or his revived corpse. I was thinking you could make one between Kabuto, given that you have the executives, like the woman, the guy who beat up Gatak in his base form, and the fact that 2 of the quote-unquote leaders of Zect are like low-key worms. But I'm gonna let you guys decide that one in the comments, since I haven't watched that much of Kabuto to be able to make that justification. Okay, moving on to from Decade, let's go to Double. Okay, okay, well, I have to take into account that Nosuka died, so that would leave Ryubi, Mick, Sayako, and Wakana. In that case, I would say Mick is the dumb muscle. I was going to put him as the weird one, but, you know, when you think about it, Mick is just loyal to whoever does the thing with the spoon, so he just flat out murders people because he gets told to. Wakana would actually put as the weird one because she's not entirely 100% willing to murder or slaughter, and she's been the victim of a few dope hand users a couple of times. And the influence to turning her into villainies is something that is still up for debate to this day. Regarding Sayako being the femme, well, she's only interested in one guy at a time, but like, she does have that whole alluring feature of her being the quote-unquote future successor since she's the oldest of the siblings. And, well, I wouldn't say Ryubi's not that wisecracking. He does have that funny, calm old man that's seemingly funny and senile, but dangerously deceptive and way more sociopathic than people give him credit for, especially given how smug and confident he can be. That's not to say he's not affable, but when you think about it, he kind of fits that role. Okay, people have said for O's, the greeds are really good when you don't count either Ankh or Maki. You know, Mizu's the femme fatale, Gamel's the dumb brute that's in love with her. Kazari is the cunning one, because he did have like a bunch of scheming and manipulation in order to get that to the point where he's been willing to attack his own allies. And Uva is the weird one, which I've seen people say that he was a terrible villain, and I was like, he just wanted to be complete. I know I haven't watched Oz all that much, but like, I saw some people giving him hate, and I was like, is that your reason for hating him? Really? Okay, Fourze's generals are going to be the start of me making stretches for this video, because Leo's the dumb muscle. I'd say Libra's the weird one. Or, no. Actually, no. Scorpio we're going to make the femme fatale, because she does low-key influence some of her students into becoming Zodiacs. Though, regarding the smart mouth and the weird one, Libra, you could argue, is the weird one because his powers aren't that physical in nature, and he's basically the principal trying to keep everything under a tight leash. Meanwhile, Virgo, you could argue, is a smart one because he was one of the scientists who worked with Gamo and Kengo's father when it came to the Pope Fourze system in the past and the presenters thing. But you could switch it because Libra does kind of have to be the smart one of the group, given that he's the one trying to make sure the whole operation doesn't get in the eyes of the public. And then with Virgo, the mysteries of their role besides being the executive that brings everyone to the Dark Nebula even made him mysterious amongst the other generals in the horoscopes that knew about Gamo's plan in the first place. So I can see that one being debatable, but you guys let me know which one would you put in which category. Well, with Wizard, we do have 4 generals. Well, 3 generals and 1 leader. Phoenix would be the brute, because of course he is. Medusa's the femme. I guess Gremlin's the weird one, and then Wise Man, but Wise Man barely smoke, but technically that would make him the smart mouth because he was basically Fuyuki's puppet, and Fuyuki basically used the Wise Man avatar in order to manipulate everyone, and kind of just saw everyone as an inferior means for him to get to his goals. If that one fits, you guys let me know. If you think I'm stretching, let me know. Okay, wait, for Gaim, maybe the new generation writers will count. I mean, Yoko's not dumb, but she is a follower and a brute, and Ryoma's the smart mouth one. You know what? I'm going to say Takatora is the femme fatale. Hear me out. The femme fatale is supposed to be the one who influences people to act in their best interests by swaying and manipulating others to their cause. And Mr. Kurashima, Big Brother, does that himself pretty damn well when you think about it, since at one point he even had Ryoma's loyalty and swayed Michi and almost got to Kota. However, obviously, Sid's the gremlin. The dude was reveling in being able to blame what happened on kids and was willing to set them up in order to rake in the dough. Dude is not a great person one bit. Hell, I know all of them betray Takatora, but like, Sid betrayed them. Betrayer betraying the betrayers. Yeah, it's a funny statement. All we need is drive. Oh, could the Roy Mood executives works? Okay, this one could. It depends. Like, Chaser was a dumb brute. Medic's easily the femme fatale. Brain's a smart mouth. I guess that would make Heart the weird one, or gremlin. Well, not every gremlin is a heartless monster. Could we really not have the leader option as a role? You know what? Heart is easily the most compassionate of these guys, which is a counter to what people think of Roy Mood. So, you know what? That works. You know what? I'm going to skip Ghost because half of the royal family was evil and half of them weren't, or just misguided. But if you think you could make one for Alia, Adele, Alon, and Adonis, go right ahead. Okay, X-Aid. What? Wait, why did I put Gremlin as the brute? No, that was supposed to be Graphite. Yeah, Graphite's the brute. Parato's a smart mouth. Lovika would be the femme fatale since he did try to emotionally manipulate Poppy. I guess I'll make Gamdius the gremlin, though I'm not sure if he hates the Bugsters, but he is the final boss, so I guess he is a unique scenario. 01, 01, 01, 01. Okay, Ikazuchi's the dumb... Wait, no, he's smart. Hirobi would be a smart one since he... Okay. Naki's the femme. No, they're not a woman. They're non-binary. And Jin... Well, before he came back, he would be the dumb muscle, but... skip. Okay, I had one for Saber, but then I realized I put the muscle twice, so we're going to ignore that one. Okay, Geats. Daichi would be the smart one. Buffalo would be the muscle. Peppero's the femme fatale. And Archimedo's the weird one. Okay, Revice. Aguilera's the femme fatale. Ortega's the smart mouth. Julio's the dumb muscle, which would leave the Chameleon Deadman the gremlin, because Giff and Akaishi weren't that active yet, and he was basically reveling and duping Hiromi, pretending to be the commander, so I guess that fits. And because the Stomach family is 5 members, we're gonna go with Gotchard. Clotho is the not that dumb muscle. Lacus is the femme fatale because, you know, she did dress up as a nun to convince people to become amalgams, and she has gone around influencing people. Atropos is a weird one since she's more of the person that works behind the scenes, but she doesn't transform into amalgam. And Guion would be the smart mouth because, well, he does revel in the fact, and he is both not only smart, but he enjoys taunting the hell out of his opponents. Wow, I actually got both of these finished, and this one was unscripted. Alright, so tell me your thoughts below. How would you categorize some ones? Put some groups that I didn't consider or mention because some of them were a little bit harder for me to figure out. But if you think they fit, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and BIP of Bizarre Interest Productions, signing off.